We all know that Cat Williams in January of this year said this would be the year of truth. Tony Hughes and Connor Murphy, you are both equally guilty for the murder of Leo and longevity. With the help of Lucy and the information in her most recent update video, more pieces of this puzzle have been solved. The irony of Tony Hughes' mind is that he believes he is so intelligent that he is incapable of a Freudian slip. He believes we won't do the due diligence and our attention spans will prevent us from going the extra mile. But for you, sir, I did. Can you spot our first Freudian slip?
Arrested is when the other person who was injured or involved in it pressed charges on the other person. Now I'm going to show some more footage here on the screen, and that is at the scene Tony Hughes' girlfriend. She's very close friends with Connor Murphy's girlfriend who was injured in this incident.
The first question we must ask ourselves is, if Connor Murphy really went manic and tried to kill a Thai woman and her daughter, why would another Thai woman convey this level of trust and comfort within her body language as a result of an outsider trying to harm them? Why didn't the daughter and girlfriend want to remove him and have him arrested? And why would there be this underlying allegiance to this man? The answer is very simple. If Leo did what they speculate he did with a Thai woman he brought back to Tony's on the last night in January 2023, this would explain why they had this level of loyalty or are scared to tell the authorities. I want to start by showing you a video from Tony Hughes' new rebranded YouTube account. I want you to focus on his character to show you he has no moral code, no ethics, no backbone, and will lie, cheat, or help you cheat in order to reach your goal. This is the agenda and ideology he lives by.
Ryan Garcia gets popped for Osterine. Now, I'm a performance-enhancing drugs expert on the underground, and I coach a lot of clients on how to use them. And a common question I get is, how can I take performance-enhancing drugs and not get caught?
Yes, this man is actually making videos on how to cheat and not compete on an even playing field. So if this is his mindset, there are no rules or regulations that he will conform to. Tony says we should be open to nuanced thinking. I will oblige. Are you ready for our second Freudian slip? This is the newest video Tony Hughes put up on his new main channel. He created this one while rebranding after getting his other channel axed for sexual deviant and dangerous activity.
What do you guys think? Should he do the mass blast? Should we try to put on 20 pounds of muscle in like 12 days on Connor Murphy? Build permanent new muscle fiber so his physique is forever, lower maintenance? What do you think, Connor? You think if the audience wants it bad enough, you're willing to go all the way and do a mass blast?
I don't know, man. We'll see. Maybe if the audience wants it bad enough. I don't know.
Because you're pretty much natty, right?
I am, you know. Not a lot of people believe it. There are a lot of rumors going around.
Thanks to Tony and your newest incident, these are no longer rumors. Notice how in this video Tony is deliberately distorting their audio inputs. Listen again. Notice how the ambient music and sounds come in normally, but voices do not.
Anything more potent than MK677, and so I'm very curious to see what would happen to my physique if I actually went extremely hard in the gym. I've got my diet on point, and I actually hopped on some gear. I think that I'm curious to see what would happen, you know?
You used to train really hard. Your diet was perfect. Every meal was weighed out perfectly.
They are now finally back together in Pattaya, Thailand. Back together and out partying like Leo was never murdered.
Pattaya, Thailand, at Tony's house. That's where they found Laith, that you all know as Leo Rex, Leo longevity.
The next question I got was whether psilocybin and LSD can be used safely at lower doses. So I want to talk about two things, two dosing schedules, and we'll use golden teacher mushrooms as a ballpark milligram dose for these two things. So microdosing, something between 100 to 300 milligrams of golden teacher mushroom. Using golden teacher mushrooms, 100 to 300 milligrams in the morning will help someone concentrate for 4 or 5 hours afterwards. What I believe is happening is that the agonism, the target of LSD and psilocybin are serotonin receptors, the 5-HT2 series receptors. I believe agonism there causes consequent dopamine transmission. At a low dose, 100 to 300 milligrams, you get a dopamine transmission that helps you concentrate. There's a second benefit of it, which is that agonism at exactly those receptors increases neurogenesis. That's exactly how SSRIs increase neurogenesis. So if you keep taking mushrooms or LSD at a low dose, you will increase neurogenesis and you will increase dopamine. I believe that doing this for a long period could potentially put you in danger if you're susceptible to it. I believe what's much safer is...
For me, on January 30th, 2023, I received a text message. The text message was just saying, Laith is dead. And the text was sent by Tony's associate, Ines. I don't know exactly the nature of their relationship. I found out that Ines is the one managing Swiss scam.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Lucy, the mother of Laith's child, found out about his death not from Tony by telephone, but by a random man via text. That in itself is a major red flag. John Bravo did the best he could do in this interview, and this interview is very telling. Notice how many times he deflects from mentioning the girl. Mr. Bravo, I want to highlight how your judgment can be clouded by your friendship with Tony Huge.
I mean, Boston Lloyd. I mean, we're all connected in pretty much the same circle. And if you think about this for the past year, okay, a little bit more than a year, first Boston dies, right? And then Amin, who brought Leo into the fitness world, he introduced him. He was in prison, accused of murder. And then as he gets out, Leo comes to Thailand to do videos with you. He dies in your house. Then your YouTube channel goes down. You're stalked in Thailand because there's a reward out for more information on the death of Leo. And then your channel goes down. And the last people know is that you were in Pattaya. Not in Pattaya, you were in Thailand. And people were stalking you. What has happened since then, and how are you dealing with this all?
I kept staying in Thailand because I just kept thinking things were going to get better and safer there, but it got to a point where I didn't think it was
the other day
possible.
On a news report that was in Thailand that I hadn't seen before, and he translated it and it put out information that I haven't heard before, and I think most people haven't. And that report said that the night, and this is where we're going to go back to what you told me about the last time you saw him. The report had said that he had got into an argument and supposedly physical altercation with the woman that was in his house the night before he died. There was strangling, there was hitting, and then later he denied doing it. Did you know about this, and do you have any information on it?
Yeah, it's been so long since I did the 3 hours of videos that's on the channel that got deleted.
I do remember. See, this is the thing. When Perrin made that video, I remembered, and I had talked to him. I said, listen, I remember Tony. I can't remember which video it was because there were so many. I remember him discussing something about an argument or some type of something with a woman, but I couldn't remember it all because, like I said, there were so many things and I couldn't go back and look at it now. So if you can reflect back, because that could be a big key in what happened to him or could have happened.
Well, you're thinking about like, okay, what could have happened? So if he was murdered, I mean, there's two different possibilities. he wasn't murdered,
Or he was.
and then there's all the different possibilities after that.
Yeah, but
and
this
then
is the
he
thing,
was
Tony.
murdered, and if
That
so,
girl
who did it?
Yeah, go back a little bit. That girl that was there was I'm going to say Charmuta.
See how the girl is being protected at all costs. John has asked twice, and Tony cannot even fathom that it could be murder. As an objective thinker, that would always be a possibility as a neutral party.
How do I do that when he's gone? My goal is, when he passed away, is, okay, I still want to show the world who the real Leo is. And by that, I mean like good and bad, so that they can understand him, so that we can build a real legacy of who Leo was, and not this actor that everybody is
So,
I
but
just don't even
saying
know how to
that, Tony,
explain it. They don't know who he was.
But saying that, Tony, don't you think if people knew about that thing with the girl, they would be like, "Oh, Leo repeated history again. What he was accused of with Lucy, he looks like he was doing it again in Thailand, and maybe that could have been what happened." I think, and I'm not saying
he's going to do it every week. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we could
That's who but that sounds so bad because Westerners don't understand different types of relationships and different types of dynamics.
Something with the Charmuta happened. Maybe the pimp came. I don't like to make assumptions. I'm just saying your safety also has to be thought of, because they could have came after you. If that's the case.
Okay.
So I understand that must be on your mind as well.
Yeah. I know that's what you would think, but no, that part of it is not. I don't feel fear for my safety from that part of it.
And people were stalking you. What has happened since then, and how are you dealing with this all?
I kept staying in Thailand because I just kept thinking things were going to get better and safer there, but it got to a point where I didn't think it was possible for a while now. So I'm in Philippines right now, and Philippines is where I have 2 baby mamas that were living in Thailand, but they still come back to Philippines to visit family and stuff. So my stepdaughter is Miss Ormoc, which is like working her way up towards becoming Miss Philippines. And now she's preparing to compete in the next pageant to get to Miss Philippines. So she's now coming back from Thailand here with baby mama and my other daughter. So I had to pick a place to be. So I picked mostly based on family, and also I love Philippines. It was my second choice of place to live after.
Yeah.
John Bravo sabotages his own interview by bringing up a new angle with the pimp. He also gives Tony an imaginary reason to flee Thailand when Tony states himself that he is not fearful of any potential killer that may be on the loose, and in Pattaya wanting to kill him also. Who would have full access to Tony's house like that? No one other than Connor Murphy. This is the only logical option.
But again, the only reason I hesitate talking about the girl thing is because, and I did already mention it sometime, and obviously
you did mention it. Yeah, you did. I just don't remember 100%. And when that report came out, I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then everyone's DMing me. They're like, dude, did you know about this? Even I talked to Lucy. She didn't know about this.
Yeah, I can tell you, and you can ask questions. But the reason I wanted to lay the foundation also is because, for example, if Lucy's listening, it only benefits Lucy if if people really understand the real Leo. The risk is if I explain some of this stuff and they don't really understand, then it causes a huge frenzy of negativity and attacks on his legacy. That is exactly what I was trying to avoid.
Tony Huge, what exactly are you hiding? Find out in part 2. To be continued.